like to show you our stable today and to give you an idea who we are and what we do. We have a family company, and where we are now is the sports stable, run by Coby, my mother, at the back, you saw her, and me and a big team. And on the other side of the road, and you'll see that later during a guided tour, we have Van Baalen Farms, and that is run by my brother, she's near my mother there, Arie, and my sister-in-law, Jacobine.
Hi everyone.
So it's like two separate farms, but we do a lot together, of course. And today we want to show you a little bit of both companies and show you where we come from, what we do, and what our ideas and wishes are. So what we're going to do today, first we start with the presentation. We have a guided tour here in the sports stable, then on the other side of the road at Van Baalen Farms. And at the end we'll do a clinic where I'll ride a horse and a daughter of that horse is shown as well. We want to start with actually what is our biggest dream, what we want, what we work for every day. That is combined in breeding and sports. So right now I'll show you the freestyle from last weekend during Jumping Amsterdam. And I was showing there with Habibi during the FIE World Cup. And yeah, we had a very nice score and I think a very nice freestyle. And Habibi is bred in our stable and raised and trained here. So this is actually the end product, which I want to show you. Habibi is by Dressuurstal out of a mare from Johnson. That was a very nice moment. So where it all began, a long time ago, and my parents started from scratch. There was really nothing here, and they started in a small caravan, which you can see there on the right, and they started there with, most of them were mares, and my father also had a cow farm with dairy cows. So they started with cows and some mares, and later my mother got to ride stallions from Van Baalen. Maybe that's the name, some of you know. Some famous stallions like Ulft, Roemer, welke nog meer maar? Winston.
Winston, Roemer, they were sold in America, Beethoven. But later on we can see in the old canteen and they are all with a picture on the wall.
Yeah. But that meant
some of the people who are with me, they bought horses from Jan and Daniel van Tel. That's the son of Henk van Tel, where Coby was riding for.
Yeah, exactly. So although it was pretty close, it was only 15 minutes away, but it meant a lot of driving up and down. So my parents thought before we build a house, we might first build an indoor arena. so that's in the middle you see that, and that was 20 by 40 meters at start, and right now we build it to 20 to 60 meters. And on the left side you see also Arie van Wittestein, and we also have Gerard here in the room, Gerard van Baalen. Very famous breeder, and he knows everything about that bloodline. You also see her there on the wall with all kind of offspring. The time is a bit too short to tell you everything about that, but this is how everything started, really from scratch.
And out that famous bloodline, there was one stallion approved now in Sertogenbos last days from an American owner, Gerard.
From Scott Tolman, he had a Jovian out of the Charmeur and then Santano. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the grandmother is Arie van Wittestein. Not so far away as Adam and Eva, but in between.
So this is a little bit how the situation was right then. Below you see the cows. This is a little bit where we are now. They were there. And above you see some stables. Every time we rebuilt a little bit of the cow stables to a horse stable, you see that it's not really big, but it was sufficient for that time. It was good, and it helped a lot to do the business. But later, it was just to go very quickly in time. My brother decided to go on with some onion company, and later on, of course, with the horses, but not with the cows. And that meant that the cows went away here, and we had more space. And like 11 years ago, we decided to have the whole company down. Everything was built up completely new from the start, and of course we had lots of years to think about it and to make some ideas, and are we going to do it or not. But meanwhile, we're very happy that we did it, because we have now much more big boxes for the horses, ventilation, good air, very good logistics. So for the horses and for the people and for ourselves, I must say every day we're super happy with this decision, but later we'll show it to you. And we have like 50 boxes here, and we have like half of it from our own breeding as well, and half of it from clients. And it's for all kind of goals, like breaking in, selling. Many people are here for training themselves and going on competitions, or training by us and going to a higher level, and from all around the world. The breeding, we have like two breeding lines to show to you. On the left you see Erludine, Jazz Farrow, and meanwhile she's sold to the USA to Justine Wilson. I don't know if maybe some of you have seen her in the US. We bought her because she did very well at a mare show in Ermelo, and with very high points, super nice trot, but also very electric, like Jazz, of course, sometimes give the offspring. And then we decided to take Dempsey, I don't know if you know the German stallion with the super walk and like a little bit calmer character. And it turned out really well because Jackie Kennedy was a super successful small tour horse. She won 2 years ago Jumping Amsterdam, the small tour, and lots of international successes. And out of her we have a Szechuan daughter, and she already has a Bloomberg son. Yeah, so it goes very quick, the generations. This is the mother of Habibi, which we saw in the beginning where I did the freestyle on. We also bought her as a 3-year-old. Extremely good hind leg, always going, and an extremely good character. And I know that everybody always says like, yeah, a good character is important, but it is super important. And I think also with her offspring, we have horses who always want to go, who always want to do it for you, and especially to go to the real high level, to Grand Prix, and to show on real international level. The character is, yeah, one of the most important things a horse should have, in our opinion. Because of course the perfect horse is not there. We have also Grand Prix horses, maybe a little bit weak walk. Yeah, every horse has some weaknesses, but with a character, better no concessions. So on the left you see then Habibi, and later on I'll show you his half-sister, out of the same mother, also again by Szechuan, and then the daughter of Jalila out of Le Formidable, which I think you all saw on Friday night on the Stallion Show. And we're gonna also going to present her under saddle. Yeah, some highlights from sports. This is, yeah, like I already said in the beginning, our goal to present ourselves at the international shows ourselves and also with our pupils. We also have lots of young people riding here, ponies, juniors, U25. So yeah, we want to present ourselves in sports at all levels. Yeah, something special, of course, the Olympic Games, and of course my mother was there in Sydney on the ride with Ferro, you know him all I think, and I was there twice in Athens with Eidekes. Of course he came from the US, was first ridden with Courtney Dye, then came here from family Nijhoff. And on the left you see Go Legend, where I competed in Tokyo, and he was Totilas Ferro. And then I think it's up to Jacobine, or there must be any questions? Not yet.
No questions so far.
No, then it's up to
Maybe
you.
later. Welcome. I'm very honored. I may tell you something about our rather young company Van Baalen Farms, which I started together with Arie, my better half, as they say. I must admit, Arie is the agricultural brain behind the business. So if you have any questions related to feed or fielding, I must refer to him because he knows everything about that. I'll tell you a really quick bit about the history, because Marlies already told you something about that. Like she said, the dairy farm stopped, and Arie decided to make a business in onions, very successful. But meanwhile, we had a small breeding ourselves, couple of mares, couple of foals a year, and I don't know, it's a Dutch saying, but het bloed kruipt. The passion stayed for farming, horses, so we decided we wanted to have our own foals at home. And then the idea started to grow and grow, and we visited some other colleagues in rearing. And then the idea started for Van Baalen farms, and the idea got bigger and bigger. And as you have seen on the other side of the street, this is what it turned out to be. Let me see if I have some pictures with that. Yeah, so we, for now, 2025, we have around 350 horses when we're full. During the year, people pick up their horses when they're 3 years old. The foals start to come in September, so it's, that's the English word. It varies, the amount of horses we keep. 35% is our own. We have horses together with Marlies and Coby and Marlies' husband. So it's very nice to do this as a family business. We have the same interests, and it's always something to talk about during dinner. And so we have the passion for it together, and that makes the work, not work, but hobby, passion. Makes it nice to get out of bed every day. Yeah, this is the beginning, when they were still building in 2020. That's when we, the first foals arrived. As you can see on the picture, new barn, new paddocks, everything ready. This is, we keep our own food, so we have about 150 hectares where we extract our own grass and grass production. Every year we field the horses on this also. Arie will tell you some more about that during the tour. He always loves to talk about it, so it's nice for you to hear it from him. He's better at it. I can show you a small movie on how we do the daily feeding from our horses in the stable. Mentioned, a good start is priority number one. Our main goal is to, for our clients, is to give you a sport horse when you pick it up. A sport horse needs to be healthy. It needs to have trust in people. So we have a very good health, hoof and dental care program. We have X-ray service when they are 2 years old, so you know what you have at that point in time. You know whether to maybe give the horse a treatment, or it's suitable for the stallion licensing. We are very much stable to give you a good sport horse. That's our main priority. This is also a small movie on how we do a farrier day. We have a selection area, which makes it for us very easy to take good care of your horse. Without this selection area, the horses are young, they're, well, I won't say wild, but they're green, very green. So we need this to give them, well, the good care that they need to stay healthy. So I'll show you a small work is easy and a good way for the horses to get the trust in people and no bad memories with the farrier, and that's I think is very important to also get the trust when you go on with the training afterwards. Yeah, this is what also Marlies already told. Birth to performance. That's what we're busy with every day. That's the passion. Yes, this is a company that we started together in 2023. Together with Marlies and her husband Ties, we try to buy some exceptional foals every year, which we rear in our own stable. And
Also with the advice of Marianne, she's also here, right?
Yes,
Marianne
Dorstein advises us with the foals because she knows what to look at exterior wise, and she has all the knowledge to search for them. And then Marlies takes over the training when they're free, and we try and produce some very nice horses also for the trading and the sales, because that's also our business. I think it's time to. Oh wait, sorry. One more. This is very important. Most important. Sorry. The youth has the future. This is Felina. You already see this is Marlies' daughter, and Arie and me also have 3 small children. And so far, they really like horses. We try not to push it too much because it needs to come from themselves. But we hope, of course, that they have the passion as much as we do. That would be really nice, but it's not necessary. Are there any questions for Marlies or me or Coby or Arie? Or Gerard or Marianne?
or we're all here. Jen, everybody's here.
How many foals do you breed every year and how many do you buy?
Well, our breeding has become a little bit smaller. I think now we breed together. We breed about 10 foals a year, and we try to buy also 10 foals. Give or take.
On the riding program, how many do you generally keep in for riding between client and like sale and personal horses?
Yeah, we have around 50 boxes, and half of them are horses from ourselves, from our own breeding program mostly, and half of them from clients. And then from clients is very different goals, like for sale or breaking in. We also have lots of clients from the farms who want their horse when they're 3-year-old to come here and be launched and ridden and starting them.
It's a nice cooperation.
Yeah,
yes.
How many riders do you have then?
We have one chief rider who will also show you the young horse. My mother is still very passionate about riding, rides every day. Myself, and we have a team of riders.
Yeah.
Do you have a coach that you work with? Is your mom your coach?
Yeah, she's definitely my coach. We work together the whole week. And besides that, I also have another coach. Her name is Ricky. She's also the same coach as Dinja from the rider of Eugène Racing. And I think it's a very nice cooperation because she comes once a week and she has a fresh eye and she says this and this and this you have to work on. Next week we'll continue. And that's super nice.
Maybe you can help me. They asked me yesterday why Ricky Young was such a good coach. She's a Western rider. She was world champion reining, I think.
Yeah.
So
she's a Western rider.
Yeah.
She's
So please explain.
I think she's just an exceptional horse person.
Yeah.
She really knows what each horse needs, and also what the rider needs, because it's all different characters, and it all comes together. And especially when the pressure's on at the big shows like Aachen or Olympic Games or whatever, she keeps it cool. Yeah, she smokes a lot, but she keeps it very cool. And she's very cool, and she's always like, we're going for matter what, and even if it's not going one show, we'll figure it out, we'll talk about it, we change this and this and this, next time we're on it again. And I think this as a rider is also super important, but besides that, she just has an eye for horses and riders. Yeah.
And she was young, she was a dressage rider as well.
I know, but they asked me and I
And what I know from my father-in-law, it's a long, long time ago, and he was a judge, very often young horses, but as well ponies, Welsh ponies, New Forest ponies. And then when he came back, he told me always, I know one talented girl, and her name is Ricky van Os. She can ride every pony, but we don't know who it was. Marlies as well. And then later on, she came with Dinja on the Olympics in Tokyo, for example. And then now we saw, of course, Dinja's quality, but also Ricky's quality. And that's the reason we asked her for a clinic here. And what Marlies told you, it's very nice that we are not only but that you have very often also a fresh eye and that you are not dying in your own program.
One question, can Gerard maybe tell what is out of his breeding, because it's not only the Jovian from last weekend. There are also Olympic horses, so please.
I'm a small breeder. I keep my horses for a hobby. For more than 40 years I was a teacher, and I kept my horses as a hobby, and I bred some horses. Most known, well, famous horse I bred was Nadine, perhaps you know, from Hans-Peter Minderhout, and I based it all on my Roemer mare, Caritas. And he had some, some offspring, and I still use the same line, and I breed with that line.
In Holland, really a well-known line. Yeah.
Yes, and it all started with that chestnut over there, with the white leg, and that's the foundation mare of the breeding program. Yeah.
And I think one thing, what you mentioned, that temperament and character is so important, that's what is totally in that model.
Yeah, right.
Somebody asked Feline for the favorite, and there she comes already. So. Marlies told you, we traveled around the world during our sport, of course, and then you have a look everywhere you come for new ideas. What is good, what is not good. You have another eye in all kinds of stables to get enough information, and at the end we made our own plan to rebuild here our farm. And then of course the main thing was the air, the light in the stables, logistic of course, and the safety, that it is all enough safety for horses, but also for our team. In the past, we had all here in Holland dark stables, very small boxes, and no windows because it's always windy and cold, raining. But when you American are here, the sun is there. That's nice, but that's not normal, And this idea is what I saw in a stable, the tech rooms. We have many that because we have a lot of training guests and they have a lot of horse equipment. And then we have room enough to put it in, that you can have here the normal stable empty. Yeah, it is like a box, you see, and there is only a door in the front, and then we have room enough. So as you see here. Yeah, and this is the main street. So all 4 parts come here together, and we can go with the bad weather immediately to the indoor.
We call it the tech up place. We have it's centered in the middle, so it's also really nice that the horse boxes are separate from here. So the horses have rest, and here is like we start the work and then we go to the arena and they have to work, and we take care of them after the work, and then they have a easy time again in the box or in the paddock. Coby saw this idea also in the stable in Germany, that it's centered in the middle. And it's also nearby the indoor, so when you need some help or you need something in the indoor, it's easy to reach out and people can come. What we really take care of was, again, the light. It was really nice that we have so much light and air. The roof can also go open, and everything we need is located here. So we have a laundry room with a washing machine and a dryer. We wash a lot. Actually, after every ride, we clean the pads, that there's no mold or other infections spread through the stable. So this we call the barn. We collect here the hay and the straw and the pellets. And we have an indoor lunging circle. That is actually super nice because we have a lot of young horses and we love to lunge them a little bit. And in winter time, we can just use it then, and we can always use it. So also when it's raining or when it's colder weather, we never have to wait till it's gone. So it's super nice that we can use it. And here you see our paddocks and a little bit of the fields. We have more fields on the back of the area, and we use it quite a lot. Now we don't use it because it's frozen, but otherwise we just immediately start with putting horses out, and they stay out at least every day for like 2 hours. In the past we only had 1 paddock, and then we had to change more quickly. And then a couple years ago we invested in more paddocks, so now the horses can go out for a longer period of time. And all the horses are actually going out. And sometimes a lot of people ask also the sport horses. Yes, but then we just ride them first and then they go out. But we try to get every horse out because that's really nice for them. It's nice to roll around and play a little bit. So we call this the Marlies Barn. Most of our own horses are just located in here, so that we keep them a little bit separate from the rest. So there in the other 3 stalls, sometimes it changes because of the clients who are coming and going. And in this part, we stay quite the same. So this is actually all our own horses. And we also made a separate tech-up space. And that is also, in the past, we had more stallions. So then we could also tech them up here, and it was more calm for them. And now it's also for the more experienced Grand Prix horse of Marlies. They can just be there more calm, and then we keep an eye on them.
Here's the superstar.
And the superstar of the stable.
Superstar.
Do a walk and then when I walk through it, I will explain you things. If you have questions, let me know. We have two buildings. This is the first building. Here we have the foals, mares and colts, and also the colt the 1-year-old stallions. In the other barn, we have the mares and the gelded ones.
What month do you start having bulls here?
Normal spoken, they get weaned from 5 months. So we start here, normal spoken, in August to get the first one in. That are the foals born in March, let's say like that. And then we do that until New Year. And so, we have, this year we received plus minus 140-50 foals. Our groups are plus minus 18 till 20. That's one group. You can see it. Every stable has its own number. And one group, it stays like one group. So this group goes as one group to the field and also come back. So we don't make the groups bigger when they go to the fields. We want that they keep uniform, and that's the best for following up with all the activities what we are doing here. So we have here in the beginning, when we started here to build it, we went to a lot of different places, and because in the dairy farm there's a lot of technology, so we said, okay, we also want a high building, a lot of air. We want to go in with a truck or with the tractors, easy working. We have here, let's say, around 350 horses, so it's, you need to feed them, the stables need to get cleaned, everything needs to work quickly and fast. So when we build it here, that's all what we wanted to do, that we are ready for easy work. It's not that we don't like to work, but easy work, fast working. So when we walk in, you can see some small technology things what they also use in mostly dairy farms. So I would say come inside. Question, sorry.
When you separate the foals, do you do it by age or by gender? So is it all fillies, all colts, or how do you separate them?
Now when they come in, it's a lot from clients, first of all. They call us, they want to book or to make a reservation. And then we start in August directly with two groups. One group with colts and one group with mares. So they are they're directly separated. And then it's a little bit, the foals from born in March and April. That's the first group. And when the group is full, let's say 18-20 foals, more or less, then we start with the second group. And that's how we do that. And then when the group is full, we also start directly with the vaccination program, because they get vaccinated for strangles, influenza, tetanus, rhino. So we cannot wait till the last fall, because then there are 6 months that the first ones are not vaccinated. So we start directly when the group is full with the program. So when we start to think about how do we want to have our stable, in Holland it's 8 of the 12 months, it's winter time. The summertime is very short, so the horses are in Holland most of the time, they are inside. So for us it was very important that we have a stable that they can during the stable period also outside. So you can see every stable has its own paddock, and the first 10 meters are from the stones, and then we have sand paddocks. So when it's very wet, last 6 weeks it was in Holland very wet weather, then they always have the stones that they have always a heart on the ground, so they always can walk, go in and outside themselves. So this is always how it is 24/7. So in the morning, when we do here the stable work, the people do the foals outside. There are doors behind the wall, And that we do them outside, it has two reasons. Reason one is at that moment you can see directly if a young one is ill or there is something, because when you walk like this, it's very difficult to see that. But when you bring them outside, you see directly, oh, there is one fall, there is something with, is it, maybe a wound or something like that. And then you can react very fast. The second reason that we do them outside is because we have an automatically straw system. We will see it later on in the back. And they put the straw on from the top inside. And we don't want that the horses get a little bit in panic or like that. So we always do them outside. And later on, the doors are open and they come back. So there is a question here. How do we know which horse is where? We have on the stable numbers, so we have stable number 1, 2, etc. till 21. The horses are chipped, of course, and we have a horse manager program that we know in stable 1 are those horses or foals. It's impossible to recognize from your own. It's easy, but from clients it's difficult. So we always use a chip reader. That's how it works.
How many are in each stall?
18 till 20. Yeah, and that's a little bit how the groups are always like that. Yeah.
Are there any issues with some of the foals being bullied and not getting to the feed?
That's always possible, and if that's happening, then we take this foal out and then we regroup it again. Yeah, and normal spoken, that's enough. Yeah.
Is this all the males?
We have in this are group 1 are colts. These are colts. Here are mares, also mares. So we have in total 3 groups with mares and more colts.
Wow. And what percentage of the colts get gelded and when?
So the question is, from all the stallions, what we have here, how many are gelded at the end? In the spring period, so that starts now in the month of March, we give the service for X-rays. And then after the result of the X-rays, clients decide what to do. So that's at 2 years old. And then most of the time, plus minus 50% is gelded. Yeah, but it can change a little bit less, a little bit more. It all depends on what the clients want with their stallion. We clean the stables every 3 weeks. Again, the building is then very important because we can drive here in with a truck. Horses are outside, and then with a loader we clean it over the fence. It's important to clean them every 3 weeks, that it's dry, that there is less problems with the hoofs, especially in wintertime when it's always very wet. And because the horses can go in and outside, especially when it's a very rainy period, we increase a little bit that we take the manure out every 2 weeks. The haylage, what you can see here, everything is, that's always a question, why it's always shortcut. That's because we harvest in the summertime the haylage like a dairy farm, so we put it on a very big, how you call that? Big silage, and then in wintertime we can feed very automatically, and this is easier to process. It's very important that the haylage at the field is long, that you always have a very good structure. That's also when you feel it, then that's very good for the stomach. It's not necessary to feed long haylage. And we always, when there is a little bit discussion, we always say, when horses are in the field, it's also not always very long. They also eat short grass. So, and then in this haylage, we always mix it with some extra minerals, and every horse get that. But we don't feed pellets, because when you do that, they always get a little bit aggressive. Yeah, so we want, you can see it here, that it's very calm in the stable, and that's because they know we can go outside, everybody get the same food, but we don't go around with pellets, because everybody recognize that when you have the sound of pellets, horses come, they fight, they start to bite each other or to kick each other. So that's what we want to, Employee of the month. Every month.
And they just have this, and nobody's fighting. That's so nice.
Yeah, we try to do our best on that.
Amazing. Yeah, very impressive.
Horses needs to go outside. Now you saw that we have every stable has its own paddock, and this is also a very important part, because here we can very easily select the horses. Here also sometimes is a problem. We have last period a little bit problems with some mud fever. So we took out 4 stallions to treat them, and then very easily we can bring them at the end. We have here a separation hole. They can go inside here, and then it's very easy to bring them in the last part. You saw it on the movie. We can put a halter on. We can treat them. Also with the farrier we use this system, and then it's very easily to take the horses for whatever reason there is. If we don't have this, it's impossible to do a good job. So you can imagine if you need to take out a horse from the group, how you need to do that. This is how we do that.
So more like if you're the farrier's gonna see one group.
Yeah.
All go here.
Yeah.
And then how do you get it from here to here?
So the question is, if there is a farrier day, so we will bring one group in this stable, and then here are doors. So we can open here the door. Exactly. 2-3 horses go in, and we can run the system. Yeah.
How do you get them out if they're coming in this way?
So at the end they are here. You put a halter on, and the horse go out. That's
the farrier works in here?
Yeah. So if we have the farrier here, we always have 2 farriers, 1 vet. There is always a vet with, because then they can check a little bit, the condition of the horse. Maybe there is something. Always good to have some extra eyes. And then on one day we can do plus minus 60 horses. Yeah. So when the foals are coming in, we have in the autumn, let's say in October, November, we have 1 week farrier moment. In February we have the second moment. Then we do it again before they go in the field. So let's say April. Then in the field period that's not possible. And when they come back in September, October, automatically again.
Everything is very efficient and with lots of technology. How many people do you have working here to look after all these young horses?
We have, let's say, 2 full employees, always doing the stable work. When there is farrier day or something else, we have some extra, like that.
For 300 horses, you have 2 people.
Yeah.
Very efficient.
Yeah. That was the whole idea. Yeah. But efficient, because then sometimes the comment is that not because it's very efficient, the people also have enough time to check the horses. That's I think very important. We don't want to work here all day, give them food, put the straw in. We everything is done before lunchtime. And then after lunchtime, there is time to treat the horses or to check it or to do some other things. So there is always enough time to keep an eye good on the horses. Yeah, yeah. That was the whole idea when we built it here. Yeah. On the top there is a straw system. It can come down. There is a lift or elevator in it, so the machine comes down. We put 2 bales on it, take the ropes out, machine goes up, and when the horses are outside, we can do very easily put the straw in the stable. Yeah. There is a difference of the quality haylage what you use for dairy farms and of course for young horses, but the system how you harvest it, that's the same. But we cut the haylage always, let's say 2-3 weeks later than dairy farmers are used to. That it's a little bit longer. But what's very important, these are young horses. Young horses, they need a lot of good food to grow. When you grow them, you give them enough energy, then they also can be much stronger with when they have a cold or like that. You need to give them very good quality of food. And to give them good quality of food, you need to have also a good grass management. So we also in the springtime we bring fertilizers to the field that you have a good quality food for the wintertime, and that's our basic. So that's very important. That's also why we want to do that ourselves, because then we know exactly what we have. If we buy it everywhere, we always get the worst available, because everybody wants to use the best for themselves. Yeah. So here, this is a very good example on how we, the sun is shining now. It's February. Horses can choose inside, outside. You know, it's very good that they play like this. And when it's very rainy weather or something like that, they go automatically inside themselves. So yeah.
So the pipe system is good. Do you ever have problems with cribbers? Can they start cribbing on this? Or
Now, because we have here on the other side, we have here some electricity.
Oh,
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. But don't touch it because it's
absolutely brilliant.
yeah. So let's walk to the other barn.
In the summer they go out into the fields.
Yeah, correct.
But the fields are too frozen now, so they're all.
Yeah, it's winter time, so and there is no food available. So in general, we have in Holland a short field period. Yeah? It's always April, May till September, October.
The hay stash.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So is this enough for the whole winter season?
Normal spoken, yes, yeah, but 50% is already gone. Because,
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but you never had it happen that it's not enough. You know exactly how much you want to get.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, exactly.
The mares, right?
Correct. Yeah. Here we have 2 groups with 3-year-old mares, and there are the 2-year-old mares.
Yeah. So the 3-year-old mares they will breed this year.
Yeah.
So they leave before the field season or the summer
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
You
No.
don't give them another. You don't keep the 3-year-olds when it's field time, right?
No. Some owners already pick them up, and before April, most of them are gone. Yeah. Ooh. So in this table, we have here 7 stables. 5 of them are with mares, and at the end we have some gelding standing. Those 2 groups are 3-year-old mares, and it was a question, are they going to the field this year? Now, those are not going to the field because when it's April, all the owners already pick them up. So this is where it ends, more or less. Yeah. And here, this is exactly the same building, same technology, same paddocks. yeah, it's in our opinion, a good system. So we have everywhere the same.
So Arie, I have a question. Why is it deeper where the horses are standing in than where we are standing on? If they're standing lower than we are.
Yeah. They're standing lower. It has two reasons. First of all, we want to keep the straw in it every 3 weeks. So when it's not lower, they are going they build up, and then it's difficult for them to eat. And now there is a better balance between where the food is available and how they stand. So that's always that there is a good balance to eat. Yeah.
Do most people who bring poles in and keep it here, for the most part, are they all staying through until sort of the 3-year-old year, like they're being raised here the whole time?
Yeah. We are looking for clients who want to stay here for 3 years, 2 or 3 years. Stallions always stays 2 years. When you gel them, they can stay 1 winter longer. And mares are always here for 3 years. We don't offer only winter period or only field period. So that's because we also need to run a business here, and we want full. We need to try to get full booked. That's how it works.
And it's also better for the stability of the groups, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Take out of the group, that's always possible, but we don't bring them in. If somebody is calling now, do you have maybe place to bring 1 2-year-old mare? We don't do that because that's always asking for problems. Yeah.
How do you select if clients want to do backing at the 3-year-old year?
Sorry,
If the client wants the horse to stay for backing, starting on the top to the other, but like they can only take so many, I'm assuming.
Now, but we have a few addresses, what we can recommend. Also, clients have their own people, so that's all available. Yeah.
So to end the day here, we want to give you a little impression of the daily training. This is Jadila. She's a mare. She's half sister of Habibi. She's by Szechuan out of Johnson. And a few of the main things we want to practice every day from youngster to Grand Prix are some main characters like the self-carriage, which is super important, starting already at a younger age, that the horse carries his or her own head and we can go with the movement and give the reins and they will stay in the same position. The development of the top line, so really from here all over the back to the tail, so that the back becomes like a bridge where we can sit on and flow with them. And of course the development of the gaits, the walk, the trot, the canter, always try to make it better. Because learning the exercises to a horse is of course difficult and needs experience, but that's not the most difficult, I think. The most is the whole package, like developing a horse into an athlete, and that he doesn't only do the exercises, but in a super nice way and in a very nice contact with a nice light harmony. So that's what we try. Doesn't always work out, but we try. I already gave her a bit of warming up while you were doing the tours into the stables, but I think I'll just show you some transitions before we start with some other stuff. Like, it looks like easy transitions to go from trot to canter when I'm on a circle, but it isn't. When you want to do the easy things in a good way, it asks for a lot of from them how they are during that day, and that we can communicate with them in a very easy way. So we need to warm up them properly, we need to do transitions like canter trot, and that they're immediately in a nice trot on the seat, and that we go in a very easy way to canter again. And same like in the gait, like in the canter, that we can go a little bit more forward and a bit more back, and that they go from the hind leg, big strides and uphill, and we can develop them every day to make it a little bit better. We watch in the mirror that the horse is staying as straight as possible and take them back again. And important when we go to the collection again is that the horses carry themselves. Of course we have the reins to help us a little bit, but mostly we give the aids with our seat. And just a little bit of rein, and then I should be able to give the hand again, and the horse should stay with me on my seat. And of course, we have her since she was a foal, as many horses in our barn, and it isn't always one line from here to there to the Grand Prix. And with her, we had some difficulties after she had a foal in a younger age, and she gave birth herself, and she came out really poor. She gave everything to the foal, and all the muscles disappeared, and it took only months to get her recovered, but even longer. So that's, every horse is an individual, and every horse needs an individual approach. So let's go back to the trot. Ooh. Now try to develop the trot a little bit. Yeah. And then we work always on the bending of the horses, because in every test, from the lower level till the Grand Prix, the exercises are asked on the left and on the right, So it's super important that the horses are quite equal. It's never completely equal, like ourselves. We are also more easy on the left than on the right or the other way, but try to develop it as equal as possible. And a good exercise to develop that is a shoulder in. And also a shoulder in is not being asked in a Grand Prix test, but it is a super nice exercise to develop the bending, to have the inside hind leg going more under the gravity, and to check again if I have speed control, if I can go a little bit forward or a little bit back, all during the shoulder in. And again, to give a little bit. And to give a little bit, the reins shouldn't always be completely visible, but the rider should feel it. Like I can sit really, and I can just relax my hand a little bit, and the horse will continue the movement, and then it becomes much more lighter to ride. And the same in a half pass. So I already worked on the flexion and the bending. I have a look where I go to, and I take the front legs with me. The front legs will stay in the front, and the haunches will follow. Yeah, good job. I'm also doing it a little bit quick, of course. The same thing on the right. Also, we can just ask for a little bit flexion without a shoulder in. This all should be possible. So the main goal is that we can control the whole body of the big horse with those light aids. And with the same trot, it's important that when I ask a flexion, or now I make a shoulder in, that the trot doesn't change unless I want to. So when I want to go a little bit more forward, it should be possible, but not that the horse sucks back itself or goes forward itself. Now, it always has to wait for the aid, even when it was already my idea to go a little bit forward, she should wait till I tell her so. And now I can really ride that left front leg in front of me. Right. So, now also a half pass to the right. I'll use my corners, maybe I do that again. The corners are super important to have the control on the inside leg, the outside rein, and to prepare all exercises. In the Grand Prix, the exercises are going super quick, and the corners really give you some time to give a half hold, to do something, to prepare your next exercise. Now you can go a little bit forward. Yeah, good so. Now I stretch her a little bit. This is the thing, the stretching, which we do actually all the time. In between, at the start, at the end, to feel if it's possible. If it's possible to drop the neck, to keep the same trot, and down. And to feel that the horse, even after riding some exercises, are loose in the body, but also in the mind. Because we should always, as the horses can't talk, we should feel how the horses are doing. Are they still able to do it, or is it maybe a little bit too much for them today? Then we just stretch them and stop and continue the next day. And of course, this is something which has to be learned by experience. And also, what I like about our program, that we have the horses when they're younger, that you know everything from them. You know what their difficulties are, their strengths, and that way you can prepare them a little bit better. Okay, let's continue to a little bit canter work, because the half passes we just did in the trot will also come back later in the canter. So I already worked a little bit on that flexion bending, and I can take that with me now again in a half pass to the left. Make sure she stays in the same level. And now I prepare for a change to the right, and then she jumped already, because I'm talking and riding at the same time. Okay, go a little forward in between. What I want to prepare is the tick-tock. I think you've already seen it in the Grand Prix. It's a very complicated exercise where you have to go from the right to the left, to the left, to the right, and so on. But how we prepare is to do it first single. So a single half pass straight and wait, and then a change. So we never start with the end exercise. We always start easy, and when that's okay, we can build it up and make it a bit more difficult. Straight. Now she has to wait for me, and wait, and wait. Change, and straight. Only when she waits for the change, and she waits with the half pass, then later on, I can combine everything. Now I should be able to make the canter a bit quicker. Come, uphill, prepare for a change. That. Now let's see if this preparation is good enough to do it, zigzag. In between some impulsion, go forward. Always important to get new energy in between. So, going now to the left. Now I prepare, make her bending to the right, change to the right, to the right. Now I prepare to the left, and to the left. And again to the right, and the arena is a bit shorter now, but you can see that it's now quite equal, and I can feel that she's waiting for me. That's super important, and then you can make it more complicated every time. Now Now let's stretch the neck on the right. You can just do this in between. It doesn't need to be always in trot and canter, just in between or after an exercise as sort of reward. Like you did a good job, you can relax, you can feel that the back is still supple, you can see her ears moving, and also you can see that she's not completely wet or something, so that she can do the work physically in an easy way. And a little trot. Ooh. And a little walk. And of course the big difference between the small tour and the Grand Prix are the Piaf Massage movements. So maybe I can show you out of the walk some half steps, as we call them. So what I want is that I have quick steps, like half steps forward in trot, and that I can decide how big they are. So I will show you from the side. So still I go a little bit more forward. And I try to have her a little bit more over the back. Going out of trot, and I'll do it again because she's not completely straight, and that's also super important that she's always straight with those Piaf Massage movements. So I'll just do it again and try to have her a bit more straight and a bit more front of the neck. Rap. 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 And then just pat her a little bit, try if she continues. And it's important that she doesn't put her head up when I give my reins, but that she stays in the same position. And then go into trot again. Good, so. That's a way to start with the Piaf. And you, like I said before, you don't start with the end result, but you start with easy steps. And easy steps, when they're done in a good way, you can make them more difficult. The transition to the passage, we want to have more energy. So maybe I first do some extended trot on the track to have some new impulsion and energy. And that energy I want to take back in the passage. So when I ride also to passage, the legs has to move forward and the body stays a little bit back. That's the feeling I need to have as a rider. So I take her back now. It's not always easy to talk and ride. Trying to have her a little bit more on the back. And going forward again. And also in the passage, I should be able to bend her a little bit, go a little bit forward, go a little bit back. It's like a trot. And again, going back, like a big half circle. Good, so. And try to have those hind legs equally. And trot again, and stretching again a little bit. Good so. Yeah, so a little break, and then I do one transition again, and then we'll have her daughter in. Good so. And again, the transition back, and the transition I try to do with my sit and with my legs, and that she will continue doing it. Good, so you still see that I'm having her a little bit lower in the frame, but that's because I want to make her back
a little bit stronger, and in this way it's a bit easier for her, but yeah, we're trying to change that all the time in the training. Sometimes a little bit more higher in the frame, then a little bit lower, just to change it every time that it is easy for the horse. Yeah. Are there some questions about this training or? Yeah.
How much walk work do you do, especially with the young horses?
Sorry.
How much working the walk do you do with your young horses?
When we're on the horse?
Yeah.
When they're just being broken in and they're still very fresh, we go on and they don't want to walk, they have all the energy. We will go to trot and we will go to walk, canter, and then later on when they're ready, we'll walk them. And the more they get ridden, the more they settle down, and then we will always start with some 10 minutes walk at the start, and always in between as well. I didn't do it now so much because of the time, but normally I walk a lot in between and at the end as well. So there we have her daughter. Her name is Rania. She is by Le Formidable. We will expect a foal from her from Proud James, and we will expect a foal from her from Le Formidable again. So we'll have a full brother or sister this year. And this is Jos. You already met him at the tour. Jos Holdenhoort is our main rider. We're very, very happy with him. He's a Grand Prix rider himself. And yeah, as soon as the horses are broken in, are launched and set on for the first time, he will ride them as 3-year-olds and show them also on like Pavel Cup and the mare shows, Ebop, etc. Yeah, Rania is also very nice to ride, very light, very easy. And yeah, we just do her ride her a few times a week. That's all she needs. She doesn't need more. She's happy to go. She's willing to go. So she just needs more time to get stronger. As you can see, Jos already rides now also from the wall, which is a very good exercise to see and feel if your horse is completely straight. And of course, the youngsters are not always completely straight, but you always have to work on it. And Jos, maybe you can also stretch a little bit. And what you can see is that she has a very positive ears. Her ears are in the front. She has a quiet mouth. She's chewing on the bit. Her tail is quiet. She's moving in her body and in her back. And yeah, that's of course all good signs to see if the horse is also in a good condition and happy, if it's a happy athlete. Yeah, that's also a super good sign that they breathe in and breathe out. And we can also do a transition to the canter, Jos. We'll have the rein a little bit shorter to have a little bit more connection in the canter. And first the sitting trot. Yeah, good. And in the canter we will first develop the big strides, forward going, not running, but try to have every time more ground cover. Yeah. A little bit lower in the frame, Jos. Good. And big strides over the back. Yeah, good. Very nice. Maybe same on the other side. And also when we go to canter, when we go to trot, we also use a lot of our voice aids. Of course, it's not permitted in the test, but yeah, the horses can get very confident by knowing your voice and knowing who's on them, and it will make the work a lot lighter and easier. A little bit lower, Jos, a little bit lower in the neck. Good. And sometimes we do some competitions with the young horses, but it just depends. Yeah, maybe with a little bit of leg yielding. This is the main thing we do at this age. And of course, when the weather is nice, we go out and we have the canter track where we can go on a daily basis. Yeah, the leg yielding is a super good exercise to have them obedient for the leg, and also to feel the difference between the left and the right. So maybe once again on the right, Jos. Yeah, a little bit impulsion, a little bit forward, good. Forward without running. Try to turn in a proper way, and then leg yielding for the right leg. Yeah, that's actually all they need at this age. That's enough. So now stretching again, and then it's good. You can also see that she's also with people in here in her own arena with some colored blankets, etc. It's all a good exercise, and she's very chill with it. So very good job, Jos. So, yeah.
So with the mares that you have in your kind of riding program and your breeding program, I assume these mares are expecting foals from embryo transfer?
Yeah.
But then it sounds like both of them initially carried their own a foal themselves. And
She did.
She did.
She did. She did, and yeah, it wasn't a good experience because her body was really not in shape, but for a longer time after giving birth. It took a really long time to get her good in shape again. So that's why we said only embryo.
Okay, so that's you're not having them carry as young mares.
Mostly no.
Okay.
No, every embryo.
And it sounds like, so of course your goal obviously is to produce Grand Prix horses. Like you're not necessarily looking to produce sort of young horse champions. You want to be looking to produce a Grand Prix horse. And it sounds like you're using a mix of kind of older proven stallions and younger stallions. And what, like, can you just, I don't know, share some insight on how you make a decision about this sort of
Yeah, well, it's looking at the KWPN stallion show, and we saw Red Fiber, so we thought maybe he's a very nice stallion to use in the coming years. But then, my mother sees that horse, and my sister sees that horse, and then we talk about it, and we say this or that horse might really fit. We try that they're, even if they're younger ones, that they're coming from a proven Grand Prix bloodline.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't sort of have a philosophy of like using older stallions or using younger stallions. You kind of just look at whatever's going to fit.
Yeah. Also, like Proud James, of course, he's young, but when we saw him, he was so extraordinary and so nice, and yeah, then we decided to breed him as well.
For both your Grand Prix horses as well as the young horses you're bringing through your queue or pipeline, what choices of maintenance therapies do you choose from in using your horses if you do use them in terms of like chiropractic or massage or different therapies?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. More than ourselves. Yeah, we try to do everything to let them feel comfortable. Like massage blankets and physiotherapists and vets. They can't talk, so we have to try to let them feel as comfortable as possible. And of course, with our own, normal thinking and feeling. It's not like they're every day covered with vets, but we try to give them all comfort we can give them. Yeah, absolutely.
Like when you're bringing up the 3-year-olds and the 4-year-olds, like what do you normally do, like 60 days in their saddle when they're 3 years old, or do you put them in a program at 3 and then keep them there forever, or how do you?
When they come in, you mean, into the sports stable?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you can tell.
Yeah, it's very different. It depends on the horse. is he strong enough? I must say, yeah, since we have the stable and the oversight, and the horses can have every day the movements, that they are much more stronger and developed, and then we can start a bit more early, and we have not the problem that they have muscle pain or that they have the conditioning not or whatever. So, but it depends really on the horse. Normally we work 5 days a week, but then work, that's not the good word, we play with them. Launching or riding, by hand, everything. We go outside, we go to the overside, we have an outdoor arena as well. On the overside, the racetrack we use a lot, that they can go forward and straight on. And the most important thing then is the trust in the rider, in the people around, the behavior that they are obedient, also obedient by hand. The main things, the basic things. And here as well the question about the young horse competitions. Of course, it's very nice to participate for that, but then we do it only when we have a horse that we think it's his natural talent, and not that we need to press out everything what is possible, then we don't do it. So only when they have really the talent to go with the big movements already on the young age. And otherwise we enjoy it really to work every day, what Marlies said, with the horses, to try that the basic is so good as possible for the future.
How are working with mares different for you than the stallions or the geldings?
The question is it a different work or?
Yeah, how do you approach it differently with the mares versus the stallions or geldings, or is it the same?
Yeah, I think it's the big difference is for when you have stallions or mares and geldings, that are the people. Because for the stallions, you need to have people with a lot of experience, because a stallion is a stallion, he has more power and he's more dominant. And when you cannot do that and you are a bit afraid or you are not a leader, then it don't happen, then it is a success at the end. So, but the work is a bit the same, it depends on the horse.